Miraculous Girl. Join me and my dad while we explore six different marks of the outdoors, gear and equipment, and other fun things and places. Before we get started, hit like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. Ding! Thank you guys for watching.
Well, thank you for that amazing introduction, Miraculous Girl. And as always, well, thank you for that amazing introduction, Miraculous Girl. And so today, you know, I had so much fun doing our little Cyber Tool Monday video. I kind of wanted to continue that. So this is going to be a Cyber Tool Monday part 5, so to speak, and there might even be a part 6. I have an idea for that. This is not a cyber tool, but it is an electronic one, so I kind of feel like it's in the same thing. By the way, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, because I plan to post this video on the Monday before Christmas. So let's get into it here. What do we got? Well, this is the Traveler Light. Now, I forget what the variation is. This is maybe a climber light, maybe, but with additional scales. Now, I've had this for a while. I put it in the box here. I keep the box because this is one of the ones that actually comes with the pamphlet, if you want to call it that, that has a list of the tools that are in both the Traveler and then also the addition of the Traveler Light. And then on the back side you have instructions for, and they're fairly simple, for each of the electronics that are on it. So we'll be going over those. Anyway, I actually carry this one quite frequently. Oh, also you have your kind of care instructions. One thing you want to be careful with on this one as far as cleaning and stuff, it talks about swishing it in water. I would not do that with this one due to the electronic scales. Now, these are a plastic scale. I don't know what this material is, but it's not, it's more plasticky than your sapphire style scales. These are smoother and stuff, whereas this has a little bit coarser feel than the sapphire ones. So what we'll do here is we'll go over the tool set of this, and then we will look at the various digital functions that this comes with. Now, I did set the alarm on this, so it may go off here prior to me getting to that portion of this, and that'll give you guys an idea of what it sounds like and whatnot. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll start with our scale tools. Now, because of the digital function, this it has a plus scale on it, and it's a little bit different than your average Swiss Army knife here, in the sense of it does have a different angled head and a smaller set of tweezers. This tweezer set, this tweezer is a little bit smaller than your standard one, and I'm gonna, let's see, I got one right here. You can see the difference of this is an aluminum head one, but to give you an idea of the difference in the length on that, it is noticeably smaller. But anyway, so that's the tweezers. And again, that's because they've placed them in a different section on the scales. Then you have your standard toothpick, and then the ballpoint pen, which if you've been watching Cyber Tool Monday, you've seen me use multiple times. This pen's getting used a little bit more than the others because I carry this one quite frequently. I like the thermometer function for starters on it. I have a dent on it. So also in the scale, the next item, you have the small stainless steel pen. One of these days I'll look up what number, it's like a number 1 or number 2, I don't know, I know there's a number for it. And then it does come with the, and this is your hexagon shaped eyeglass screwdriver, and it has the kind of squared off head on it in the corkscrew. And of course your typical solid 4-screw corkscrew. See some pocket lint in there. So continuing along, so there's no additional tools in the scale until we get to the digital item here. So on the back, the next thing you have the awl with the sewing eye, the reamer awl with the sewing eye. And then also in that same section there, you have the, some people call this a window breaker with their key ring, but that's part of the back screen section of the awl. And then you have the special hook, and I call it the special hook for a reason. The multi-purpose hook. A lot of people don't like the hook. The hook, you can use this as a cell phone stand, it campfire purposes for lifting a pot. I don't dislike the hook. Now the reason I call this the special hook is if you can see on here, the back here has a file on it, and that is on like the compact. There's only a few models that actually have that. All right, and so as you can see, I didn't get very far here. That is the alarm. That's what it sounds like. Now, that would wake me up because it's annoying, and it gets progressively louder. I didn't even realize it does that. Interesting. And then it shut off. Awesome. Now, if you push the shield, and that's how you change all the settings, and we'll get into that in a minute. Anyway, so the hook has a file on it, and that is, like I said, a very unique feature, and I don't understand. It seems to me like you would put that on every model that has. I mean, I guess it's a cost thing, and I guess it does make other certain models special by having that file on the back of the hook, but I don't understand why you wouldn't put it on additional models or everyone with the hook. But anyway, so that is one of the differences. One other thing to note about the hook is it is the only skill tool that I know of that bends back further than the 90 degrees. Most of them have a 90 degree stop on it, and it doesn't, thus allowing it to stand up that way. So next up in our tool set, we have the small blade, and as you can see, mine has some wear on it. I probably should have cleaned it before I made this video, but this is a model I use. So you have your small spear point style blade, and then you have your larger blade, the large blade. This one has Officer Swiss on the one side, and the other side is Victorinox Swiss made stainless is the tang stamp on there. And again, I use this one, so blade's not as clean and shiny as some. Next you have, and in case you didn't notice, anytime you have your hook, you have your scissors. The Victorinox scissors work very well. This does have the guide in there. It's the two-part one, but it does have the guide in there. And I believe this top is tapered a little bit thinner than the other. And then you have your cap lifter with your straight slotted screwdriver and the wire bender, which is coarse inside, as I always mention. I've seen some great demos on actually stripping wires with this. It does have the cap lifter does have the 90-degree stop. I don't. No. And then finally we have the can opener, which I'm going to insert a demo of the can opener being utilized and a comparison. I'm going to use the one on my Ranger grip, but this one works just as well, and they are the same size. Because this is the light model, you have your flashlight, your LED flashlight. Now this is one of the original ones that came out, and it has the gray. Now I should say the flashlight pushes down, and then also you got a pullback feature on it. It has 2 batteries, and in the instructions it actually shows using the eyeglass screwdriver to open this to change the batteries out. You'll notice that this has the gray liner on it, whereas the current flashlight is translucent. You can see the difference here. The current model is translucent. Another thing to notice, and I think you will be able to tell this here, is that is the brightness on this is different. The newer one is much brighter than this one here. So there is that. And then since it includes that flashlight, opposite the flashlight you have the inline Phillips. This is the newer version. It's a little bit shorter than the previous inline versions. It does have the 90-degree stop. So you have that Phillips screwdriver. I like the inline version of the Phillips screwdriver. I find it easier to use because you're going straight, as opposed to when it replaces the corkscrew. I find that one to be difficult to use. So our final functions on this are the digital tool. The digital, I call it a tool. Well, I guess it is. Digital functions. As we heard earlier, it has an alarm. So first up, you have the time. And this is accurate. You can see it. And it is, I have it set on a 24-hour time right now. So it is 1:22 in the morning as I film this. As you want to change functions, and pretty much to change the function, it goes through in the instruction manual here, and I'm reading through this, but it on holding it, it's a one button deal right here in the shield. You hold it down and it'll go through when you're in each section, and you can manually set everything. So first up's the clock, and like I said, it is adjustable in 12-hour or 24-hour. Next up, you have your altimeter. This says I'm at 224 feet. Your altimeter, you can set it in meters or feet, and you can adjust it. For altitudes and whatnot, you can adjust it to make it, to calibrate it, I guess I should say. Next, you have your barometer function, and it takes a reading. Each one of these lines in the barometer here, you see the two dots at the bottom. Each row of those goes back 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, and the current is all the way on the right. As you can see, for me, it's holding steady, and that's plus or minus, it says 3 HPM. So, and I'm no meteorologist or anything like that, but obviously you have if your barometer is falling, it indicates that you may have some storms or whatnot coming in. And this is holding steady. So next up, you have the alarm, which I had just previously set for 1:11, and we heard that go off. Then, and you just can push the button to turn it off. You don't have to let it run. Next, you have a countdown timer. So if I hold this down, I can set, and it'll change here. So I can make it less. So I can do, I'll take it down to 30 seconds. Got 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and you can also take it up. I'm going to set it at 30 seconds here. Okay, so once that's set, it'll stop blinking. And now it's counting down, 27, 26, 25. And I'm assuming this is going to beep when it hits at the very end. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. And it did. All right, so that's the countdown timer. And the next you have the stopwatch. And it's just counting by seconds. You hit stop. Oops, it's still going to be counting here. You have to hold it down to hit stop, and then hold it down longer. To clear it. I don't want it running. It's still running, so stop, hold for 2 seconds. And to clear, to reset, hold for 4. And there we go, and it reset. All right, and then our final item is our thermometer. It says it's 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Here in the house, I don't think that's correct. It's probably a little bit cooler than that. In fact, I'm sure of it. Although it's been in my hand, I'm not sure where the sensor's at, so that may have affected that. I do know that when we were in the freezing temperatures of Utah not too long ago, that this thermometer was fairly accurate. So I'm going to pause the video here for a second because there is one other item. We're going to go back to the clock. There is one other item I'm going to show you here, but I think I need to dim the lights in order for you guys to be able to see it. Okay guys, I dimmed the lights here in order to show you this one last feature. If you can see that, this actually has a illumination for the clock. It'll stay illuminated for just a second there. So give you an idea of what that looks like. Anyway, so I wanted to show you guys that. All right, so that is a look at the Traveler Light. I think I covered all the functions here. We did get down to the temperature setting and the alarm. And I do hold on to the instructions on this because now I got to figure out how to turn off the alarm. Off. Let that go. So, we got the alarm off there, got the clock set. Amazingly enough, even though it's a one button thing, it's not like your watch where you would have two buttons or anything. It actually is fairly easy to set. I really like this one. The only thing I've noticed is if you look in the side of the scales here, I'm not going to be able to show you, you can see this knife, you're going to want to be careful not to submerge it or anything, because this, I'm certain this is not as waterproof as most others. I would think that most of the light models you would want to keep out of water. Like I said, this flashlight has two batteries in it, and then to take the battery out of this, there's a small trap door on the bottom side of the scale here that just opens up, and you can change out this battery in here. There's no, to my knowledge, backup battery in here. Doesn't look like it. You can kind of see through these scales a little bit. This is the battery right here. That battery compartment. Anyway, this is the Traveler. There is the Altimeter, and then an Altimeter Light that was that's been discontinued, but I think it was available up until about 2009. That is similar to this. The only difference is it doesn't have as many functions for the digital features. It does not have the clock in it. It just has an altimeter and a thermometer. And maybe the barometer. I think it just has those functions on that. Anyway, so thanks for watching. Give us a like. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. And remember, be nice to each other. Happy holidays to everyone. Thanks for watching.